to that, the GLCs have been taking a lot of debts, and these debts come in the form of bonds. EPF technically is not GLC, but Khazanah issues lots of bonds. 1MDB issued bonds recently. And all these bonds are being guaranteed by the Malaysian government. So when you look at that, actual debt borrowing is about 500. The contingency debt, or what we call the guarantor, the Malaysian government acting as a guarantor, the debt exposure is about 700 billion. And that's about 70% of our GDP. That's quite high. It's high because in Asia, in ASEAN countries, it should be about 40 to 45%. Not as high as 70%. Yeah? How do we bring down the debt? If you attended my first ceramah or the second one, I did say that one of the ways to do it is to divest, to sell off our GLCs. Sell off our GLCs, which are non-security GLCs, GLCs that are involved in property. Now that's got nothing to do with national security. GLCs like Tenaga that supplies the electricity, that is everything to do with national security. So we'll keep those. The property sector like MRCB, we sell. Yeah. Once we sell, we will get a certain amount of money back. And we'll take that money and use that to bring down the national debt, to settle the national debt. We hope to sell about 200 billion worth of GLC to the market and bring back 200 billion and take that 200 billion and knock down the national debt to about 300 billion plus contingency liability that will only come out when we default. Yeah? Well, by doing that, we should be able to bring it down to about 45%, 50% of the GDP level. The other way is to increase, to bring down the national debt level is to increase the economy. And we hope to do about 6 to 7% a year. If you increase economy, the GDP increases, the debt level falls in terms of percentage to GDP. Yeah? So that's the two ways we'll do it. One of the most exciting projects that we're looking at, and I don't know whether I'm entitled to tell you this, but we are seriously considering listing of Petronas. Yeah? Petronas, of course, has two sections. One is the regulation part, where they act as a taxing agent. Whoever partners with Petronas will tax. But they have a distribution side, they have an exploration side, and they have a production side. Now all those are capable of listing. Now if we list those, and since Malaysian government owns Petronas, we should draw back a lot of money. And we're looking at maybe 500 billion ringgit. Yeah? If that is what we'll do, then definitely the national debt can be settled overnight. Yeah? But one of the principles why we might list Petronas is to make sure that Petronas accounts are open to the public, which is at the moment not being done. So there are many advisors in my team that are looking into this seriously as a consideration, but we're not listing everything. We're listing about 25% of Petronas, 75% will still belong to the nation. We might have a system of giving out some of these shares free to every single Malaysian. Yeah, this is what and the strange thing about this is we learned it from a little country, quite famous now, Mongolia. Mongolia has all these natural resources, immense natural resources, right? They have copper, iron ore, lithium, you name it, they have it. And now what the Mongolian government did was very simple. They know if they list these companies, they will basically give away their powers to foreigners. So they then said every single Mongolian living should get a share, so that they will feel that they belong to this country, that the natural resources belong to them. And I thought that was a very good idea. And we sat there and we looked at the numbers and said, yeah, why not, Petronas could be worth close to a trillion, between 700 to 1 trillion ringgit. And if we list that and we give out some free shares, it's not a problem. Yeah? The idea is to show that all these things should give you a dividend income. If you're born a Malaysian, even Suluks will give some to them. If you're born a Malaysian, you should belong to us, and Petronas belongs to everybody. Okay?